It's the radio guy, Mike Prince. Welcome to another episode of the Mike Prince Show. The wind chill continues to dip as we're in this winter weather freeze, 9 degrees in the city limits of Prairie View, but the show must go on. We got a special edition for you on today. We'll talk about that in just a little bit. In some news and updates, Arkansas Pine Bluff Athletic Director Peterson steps down, and the interim has been placed upon Chris Robertson while they look for a replacement. Basketball games that were postponed on yesterday, rescheduled for today. You have the likes of Jackson State and Texas Southern tipping off on today. Tomorrow's action, we'll see the Alcorn State Braves on the hardwood, and of course Thursday is scheduled for Texas Southern and Prairie View. The debate is still up in the air on the Alcorn State decision to opt out of spring football. In fact, the Southwestern Athletic Conference released the schedule for the conference calls for the spring season, and Alcorn was omitted from the call list. So the debate will continue, as you'll hear in today's episode, between the voices of the Texas Southern Tigers and the Mississippi Valley State Delta Devils, Lary, the Chattabox Hale, and Lee Hall. Enjoy today's episode. We'll take a quick break and we'll lead right into this Tuesday edition of the Mike Prince Show. The Open Mic Broadcast Network would like to take this time to recognize its sponsors and underwriters: Attorney Lee Van Richardson, Brazos Valley Schools Credit Union, Prairie View Athletic Club, Temple of Refuge Ministries, Reflections Paint and Body Shop, Helping Hands Lawn Service, Diva Skin Conditioner, Purple Drip Daiquiri and Grill. For more information on how you can become an underwriter or a sponsor here at the Open Mic Broadcast Network, our number to call is 832-213-8824. Serving the community through faith and athletics. The Open Mic Broadcast Network, Prairie View, Texas.
So radio guy Mike Prince, we have an exclusive situation right now on the Brazos Valley Schools Credit Union hotline. I am blessed to have on both sides of my voice, Lee Hall, Mississippi Valley, and Lary the Chattabox Hale of Texas Southern. Gentlemen, how you doing today?
Life is good. Yes, sir.
Brother Chattabox, I understand that your game has been postponed against Jackson State on today. What's going on?
Yes, our game was postponed today due to the weather. Mainly, I think it's because had a few people shaking in their boots, and it wasn't because of the cold weather. It was because they saw the Texas Southern bus pull up to practice last night. They saw some very talented brothers with a very smart coaching staff getting off the bus, and that's when they started shaking in their boots, and it hadn't even started sleeping yet.
Well, it's obvious that you're in rare form on this day. It is extremely cold. What is the temperature right now as we'll check a gauge in the Delta and at Jackson? What's the temperature with you guys right now?
Look at here. Matter of fact, I'm out and now that there's snow right now. And it's between 8 and, I was checking that when you were asking him. But I think it's around 19 or 20.
19 or 20. And what about you, Brother Hale?
Well, I'm here in my suite in Jackson, and the fireplace. They already came and changed up the logs out of the first set of logs in the fireplace. So getting some work done. I think it's about maybe 15 degrees. But they suggested that I don't move until they know for sure what they're going to do. They don't want me to mess my voice up in any kind of way and get ill. So just waiting. We've been known to make people quit. We understand Jared quit the first time on Southern. And, this time, who knows, we might make him quit again on his own home floor. And go get him a bag of popcorn and said, I just can't deal with him anymore.
Oh, my God. You know people are considered outside right now. You understand that, right?
not about that. It's about being real. It's about the real deal, the nitty gritty.
I'm a little confused. Is the game postponed today? The reason I asked, I know you said you to hold on until
Boys, we're not sure. They haven't. I'm not privileged to be in those meetings. That's a meeting between the athletic directors, the presidents, and the coaches, and they're going to find out what they want to do. But I think we want to play the game since we're already here. My speculation, we'll probably try to play tomorrow. Then we get on back on the road on Wednesday. Then back to Houston.
Now, it's ironic with this call that we're on right now. There's a three-way connection because you just made mention of possibly playing to make up your game against Jackson. Then it had already been scheduled to play Prairie View this coming Thursday for a postponed event. And then you have Mississippi Valley coming up in the very near future for both Texas Southern and Prairie View. Before we get into our personal attack mode, Brother Chattabox, what are the views that you guys looking, getting that you represent the voices of each program for Mississippi Valley and Texas Southern, for you to have some success on the floor?
Alabama State won their first ball game. 2 games ago when they played Alabama State. They're still trying to win some games. I won't say learn how to win. You got to get some games going before you begin to talk about learning how to win. So in the second year, it's game by game. Had a team last year, and you come back this year, you get almost all new players, but one player. So it's going to be a process. It's a game by game process. You got to get into the game first. You got to compete. Then you got to start winning. That's what it is.
In the case of Mississippi Valley, we know that Hunter has been the star attraction, if you would, the go-to guy, but there's been a mighty surge of Cunningham of late. Lee, what is it that you're seeing as these young men continue to play together and the team is assembling itself and getting accustomed to one another? We do understand they got their first win against Alabama State, but with you having your eyes on that program and your pulse on that program, are you seeing the improvement necessary to continue to have hope for this program?
Sometimes you do, sometimes you don't. For example, if you, let's see, Alcorn, I think Alcorn might have won by 12 first time around. They won by more than 12 this time around. So I'm sure the coach will say that don't know what's going to come out from game to game. You might get a ball game this time, next time you're out of the ball game. So, to begin to say progress, you need some continuity. Some close games, some wins. Close games, some wins. And right now, that is inconsistent. It's kind of hard to see how, what the next game is going to bring. You got to toss it, tap it, and play game by game before you really evaluate that.
Okay, and Chattabox, what are you seeing from the Tigers' eye?
Well, I think that the different ball club, from when we played Review, we've had some games under our belts. We had a chance to gel. Johnny Jones has mentioned it. The other people have mentioned it. This team looks very different. When you have transfers come in, it takes a while to get them to play with each other, but they love playing together. Just had to get to know each other on the floor. This is the team that's a lot of camaraderie off the floor. I see one big happy family. No interfighting, no picking sides, no cliques. It's all one Texas Southern basketball team. And that's what you like to see when you're going down the stretch, because everywhere is really getting away from us, gentlemen. It's going very, very quickly. The next thing you know, we'll be putting in our credentials for the SWAC tournament. So hopefully we can get our game in. Hopefully we can get our game against Prairie View, because they've been out waiting to play. To my understanding, I read the headlines, they had COVID issues. But I'm not speculative of that. Just think that Michael Weathers back, and I think that sending a statement throughout the Southwestern Athletic Conference, and we're playing at a much higher level.
And with that playing at that higher level, there are some concerns throughout the conference that Prairie View, which was in a groove, and they, because of the delay of the last 3 games, of course, the original game against Texas Southern, and missing out with Jackson and Grambling due to the COVID protocol, that there could be some sluggish times for PV in the very near future. But time will take care of that starting on Thursday if the weather and COVID behaves itself. So with that being said, and we know that you're very high on Michael Weathers, you have given him the nickname of the Weatherman. What is it about his play that you see on a consistent basis that makes this guy such an exciting ball player?
First of all, I can't speak on Prairie View's preparation tactics and how they do things to get ready for a basketball game. Byron Smith is my friend, but we don't really talk X's and O's that much. But what I see from Prairie View, they've had a nice layoff. They've had a chance to game plan. Guys who like to foul have had a chance to learn how to foul even better. And when you mention guys who when they're put in the game, they know who to go straight to the bullseye and do what they do, rough them up and things of that nature. But we'll have that figured out. I'm not sure if we'll play that game on Thursday, because there's no way, even with all the Tiger power that we have running through our veins, it will be tough to take on a Prairie View team that has been resting for 2 weeks. They're taking tons and tons of baby aspirin to try to get themselves together back into basketball shape mentally and physically. But the reason that I'm high on Michael Weathers is because he's a complete player. He loves to play defense, and you got to like that about a guy, Michael Weathers. First of all, his attitude is great. It's a great attitude, and he believes in the system and loves playing for Coach Johnny Jones. He loves playing with his teammates. That's why I'm so high on Michael Weathers, because Michael Weathers is a complete player. And he went out that time in Prairie View, he struggled. We struggled mightily. That's how Prairie View was able to get the edge, because he went out early in the game. He got hurt early in the game. And when the Texas players helped, listen to me, when the Texas Southern players helped him up off the floor, it took him a very long time to get back into the game because he had to sit. When he did come back into the game, he came back playing very aggressive, playing like the Michael Weathers of old. But he just ran out of time on the clock. Prairie View was able to escape. And we left it at that.
Brother Hall, what are we going to do with this young man?
So I was trying to find out if he ran out of time. Was it not a lot of 20 minutes in the first half and a lot of 20 minutes in the second half? I was just trying to see how the time ran out.
You don't want
to stop at 19 minutes, 18 minutes, something like that.
No, first of all, Prairie View had a clock that froze. So they had one's clock that was sitting in the stand. Keep the time, the official game time, because Prairie View clock had frozen.
You know, we're going to have to nickname you instead of Chattabox, Old Wise Tail. That's what we're going to have to nickname you, man. You are something else.
Keeping time for the old clock. I think the clock had Watkins in the middle of it. I guess they got it from Watkins, man. So they were keeping time that way. And things weren't done appropriately. The shot clock kept malfunctioning. They had someone on the other side of the gym keeping a shot clock. So there was no consistent communication between the shot clock and the regular clock. That's why I say but it's okay. That's all water under the bridge. Texas Southern will be ready to play whomever, whenever, wherever.
All I'm gonna say to that, brother Chattabox, that I love you, man. And if you were close by, I'd give you a big old hug, COVID or not, because you are some type of wise teller, boy. And you do good. You are excellent at telling your stories. So you keep right on telling them stories. And I want you to, more importantly, stay safe, man, and try to travel safe. As far as you know, your game is still scheduled for Jackson State today, correct?
I know, and once again, I'm using the Brazos Valley hotline. As soon as this weather lets up, I'm going to go down. I'm going to open up account at the Brazos Valley Credit Union. Not only am I on the hotline, but I'm also would like to be a supporter. The Brazos Valley.
We sure will make sure you get an application that you can get it in And as I say, we would gladly appreciate you becoming a member. For those of you who are not familiar with what he's talking about,
Brazos Valley Schools Credit Union has 13 different locations to better serve you. Locations in Rosenberg, Missouri City, Katy, College Station, Bryan, Brenham, and Waller, Texas. For more information, you can contact them on their toll-free number, 855-391-2149. Or you can send an email to information@bvscu.org.
we're currently on the Brazos Valley School Credit Union hotline right now with the voice of the Texas Southern Tigers, Lary, the Chattabox Hale, and the voice of the Mississippi Valley Delta Devils, Lee Hall. Lee Hall, I'm going to give you an opportunity to talk about your Devils basketball program, and we know that they're still trying to put things together. What does the future look like from your perspective?
We had a game scheduled for today. As you know, it was moved to Wednesday to play, and they'll be playing Southern Jags. Both Southern men and women beat Valley State on about a month ago. Pretty tough loss for the men, around 51 points in that game. That was not good. They'll be coming back to Dallas, so hopefully it'll be a different outcome. And the women also played, and they lost, so hopefully it'll be a different outcome. That game is scheduled for Wednesday at 1 p.m. Then they'll make a trip out to longest tour of the season. SWAC play out to Prairie on Saturday and Eastern on Monday. That's the short forecast of the games, and we always like to look at them, as coaches say, one game at a time. So Wednesday,
one game at a time. That's all we can do. That's the only way you can call them is one game at a time, one play at a time. And I am thankful to be able to call both of you brother more than friend. And you guys do an extraordinary job on calling the games for both Texas Southern and Mississippi Valley. And it is a service not only to your institutions, but to the conference as a whole. And people enjoy your broadcast from every footprint that covers and make up the Southwestern Athletic Conference. And we thank you so much for joining in with us on today. Chattabox, we'll deal with you on Thursday. Brother Hall, we'll deal with you guys on Saturday. But in all of it, it's about the competition and the spirit of the camaraderie that these games bring us together. Gentlemen, I'm going to give each one of you an opportunity to have some closing thoughts. Chattabox, starting with you.
Well, I just like to say I'm so glad I chose not to opt out. I'm glad that I chose to ride the bus, call the games at home and away, and I'm glad that I chose not to opt out because we need this to try to get back to some normalcy. And I'm just glad that through all the ups and downs that we're able to do our podcast and we're still able to call the basketball games and the coaches shows and things of that nature, continue to train our youth, whether it's virtually or 6 feet apart. I love doing what I do, and I'm so glad that I did not even think about opting out.
You know what I think? If Alcorn decides to not play, I think that is Alcorn business. I don't think any other school or any other coach has any say or any business about what Alcorn is doing. If it says Kobe, not Kobe, they decide not to play, and who is concerned about them not playing? And why would another school be concerned about them not playing?
If they are not going to play, they need to shut down. They need to shut the program down.
The question is, what other school business is that to what they're doing and why they're doing?
Everybody's doing it. Yes, it is.
No.
No,
it's not.
Well, okay. I'm going to tell you why.
Why?
It's an advantage. Because if everyone else is out, listen to me. Okay. If you go on record saying you're concerned about COVID-19 with the players, that's why to play the season. Why, if the same way that they're getting ready for the season with this COVID, you still want to practice them, still want to do drills, still want to do film? You're wrong. Because if you're concerned about the student athlete and their body and COVID, why still practice? Shut down.
But here's the question. Have they had anybody to get sick from COVID? Maybe they're practicing. Maybe they're practicing. Maybe
they don't have
a social. We don't have what now?
They don't have a medical training staff, so no one knows anything.
But again, the real truth is, whose business is it outside of Alcorn?
It's the SWAC business. The SWAC business.
There's a SWAC.
It's the Southwestern Athletic Conference business.
You need the commissioner, right?
Who? I'm not the commissioner.
When you say it's the SWAC business, you're saying it's the commissioner. That's the only person perhaps that can intervene, right, or advise. So the school can do that.
He's going to intervene.
But when?
I think real soon.
He does. But until he does. And what is he going to say? He probably won't say play. He might say don't practice. If he has that authority.
Do that then. Do that. This is my thing. You're saying that you're concerned about the kids and COVID. That's why you're not playing. But you want to go out and practice. They're still going to be in each other's face running drills. They're still going to be lined up across from each other when they're practicing. Offensive and defensive line going to still be doing the same thing. So you're really
like to know
yourself.
What I would like to know, really, what is it that other schools are concerned about Alcorn? What is the real concern?
Maybe I can shed a little light. I'm not sure.
I'm waiting. I'm listening.
Okay. In the case of not just Alcorn, but those affected by Alcorn deciding to opt out. In the case of Southern University has on the schedule to be the home team take on Alcorn, which would be a good ticket day. Okay, so that has been 86 because of the opt of not playing, which they are entitled to. So, and I think part of the backlash is if you're going to say and use COVID as the reasoning for not playing, then it should be the same reason that you do not practice because of the same at-risk concerns. And so,
if Southern is saying that, Southern is stepping across their line. Southern has something to worry about. Now, go find you another big ticket to play somebody with and make some money. That's the case. COVID-19 has directed a lot of things up there. Anything can be an out. COVID-19 can be one. That's the case.
Right. And then the other part of that was if these were concerns, and I think people are saying that Alcorn is using COVID as a crutch because really it's not about COVID. It's about the internal strife that's going on at Alcorn as we speak. And so they figured they would use this as an opt-out option, saying, well, we'll just put it on COVID. But there's no secret that there's internal strife between the athletic director, the head football coach, the players, and administration. And because of that, it has been a distraction for them to get the focus on hand about getting prepared for gameplay and game shape.
And the question still remains, why would Jackson State, Valley State, the school be concerned about internal strife at Alcorn?
No, they're not concerned about that. What they're saying is just be upfront and honest that you're not prepared to play and don't just put it all on COVID because that's the crutch part.
That will be decided when they hit the field.
And Fred don't want to go out there and get his butt whipped. That's why.
Okay. What it real deal is now who
I know that's your friend, Lee Hall.
No.
But Fred don't want to get his butt whipped.
No. Southern, if it was Jackson State or Prairie View. The question is, who really has to stay here? Who whipped Alcorn? Alcorn, everybody, right?
Right.
That's what the real deal is. So this will be settled apparently Alcorn's call in the fall. Nothing has mattered
No,
about the strike,
that's
internal
weak.
strike,
That's a
or
cop-out.
anything else.
You sound
No,
just
no,
like
no,
the Alcorn athletic director, somebody at Alcorn.
all I'm
Because
being
guess
honest.
what? Because all I'm saying is this, Lee. You're contradicting yourself. If you're saying you're opting out of the season because of COVID, you want to protect the student athletes and keep them separated. Why are you practicing?
Let me ask you this. Sound like you might want to call Alcorn a coward champions to beat folks up and down. I don't think anyone's in a position to do that. Alcorn been but they've been whipping on folks, right? They've been
Okay,
the ones whipping on folks.
why would they want to stop now? Why you want to stop now? They're lying. They're bold-faced liars.
What they've been doing
with
what they've been doing and based on history, you might be waiting for the fall to whip on somebody else. Based on history, not in that record.
They could have been came out and said that they were opting out. Why did wait so close to the season?
When it's all said and done.
I'm waiting on you.
Why
did they wait so close to the season to say that?
When all said and done.
They were so concerned about them in the backwoods, they could have been opted out.
That question can be then. Why would Jackson State and Texas Southern opt out in game day tonight?
Because of the weather.
Is dictated in the weather.
No COVID-19, it's the weather. The roads are closed.
But hold on. The last time you all were in this area didn't play, what happened to that?
Because it was Valley State. They called and said they didn't have enough players to play the game.
They didn't. Who dictated that?
Hunter did that.
Who did
it wasn't us.
They didn't have enough players to play.
I had my mouth some crystal clear. Yeah, that was them.
But here's the deal. The deal would be everybody's going to be really paying attention to the scores when they play in the spring or in the fall. That is a telltale of it all. When that score on the football field, you're going to tell the whole story. Win or lose, it's going to be the story.
But Lee, the reason we didn't play Valley was because Valley had too many injuries. They didn't have enough bodies.
I know. I gave it on 7-6 on the bench.
They didn't have enough bodies. How's that Texas Southern's fault? We was coming down at the Valley.
I didn't say it was Texas Southern's fault.
We wanted that.
I think 5 is enough. Valley Girls had 7 players Saturday. Alcorn had 10. He played the game. 5 is enough. I'm concerned. I believe you can play 4 and get 5, can't you? You do it in high school and other stuff. 4 gets 5, I believe. Or you have 5 out there. If you get the foul, you get the foul. I'm not saying. I don't coach. I don't speculate. I don't know. Ball over here, ball over there is all I can tell you. 3 on 5 is all I can tell you. 3 on 5 is all I can tell you.
I got you, Fred.
But that's it, though. Seriously, that's it. That's all I can say about it. I don't know.
Well, this is going to have to be continued later because they're not going to play.
Don't be telling me about no nap and no Young and the Restless and all that. Your wife ain't called you yet. You can still play with the boys. Your wife ain't called you yet out that sandbox.
He's shooting at me now. He's shooting at me because he knows that I'm going to get my nap in with or without your permission.
Okay, and tell your wife when I'm on the phone with you to quit calling. She always got that instant 6-7%.
Oh my goodness.
Let me call and tell him I need something.
Well, you know you're going to lose that battle every time. When my queen calls, I don't care if it's you or the president, I'm getting off the line to answer my queen. Brother Hall, bring us home.
It's like a special conference. I really appreciate the effort and the direction that they're going. Also, they can keep it up even in times we haven't seen before, like these times we're in now. I want to thank the commissioner for what he's doing, for leading the way, as a matter of fact. Some games you can play, some games you can't play. You thank the teams for fighting through it, special time and good success and great success. All of those that are making that happen, from the coaches, the players, the officials, the broadcasters, particular broadcasters. And this time, because in many arenas you go to, they cannot get to the games. Folks want to hear the games and see the games. And I think all the SWAC schools are putting forth their best effort to make sure that the fans can see the show.
Very well stated, gentlemen. Very well stated. And more importantly, it takes a teamwork to make a dream work, and we couldn't get it done without you guys. And I'm just thankful that you all allow me to be in your shadow. And we truly appreciate you all for joining us on this exclusive call on the Brazos Valley Schools Credit Union Hotline. He is Larry the Chattabox Hale, also Mr. Lee Hall, the voices of the Texas Southern Tigers and the Mississippi Valley State Delta Devils. I am the radio guy, Dr. Mike Prince. The time on the wall tells me that is all. We must exit stage left. I want to thank you guys so much for joining in with us. Don't forget to follow me on Twitter at The Mike Prince Show and subscribe to the YouTube channel, the Open Mic Broadcast Network. Until the next time, you guys be blessed, and we'll see you on the other side.